Huge shout out to my agency. Came home yesterday and this was on my front door. Huge thank you from the bottom of my heart to my community. I'll be honest, you guys, y'all have shown me that y'all care more about this than I do, and that makes me happy. I don't really care, I'll be honest. I'm just gonna be completely transparent here. I don't really care about the 100K subscribers, but I care that y'all care. You know, that makes me happy. It like so many people are just excited for me, and I'm just like, damn, that's cool, you know? In light of this accolade, this achievement, I wanted to show you guys my journey of finding my presence on camera as a content creator, of discovering what I'm gonna do as a content creator and who I am and what I try to offer. I brought up a bunch of videos in a timeline fashion, going back to the old stomping grounds. The very first video I ever made on YouTube 6 years ago, coming up on 7 years. And we're just gonna go through the phases of the games I covered, how I sounded. Oh man, how I sound is so funny. What I thought a content creator was on YouTube versus just being myself, right? Just learning how to talk to you guys as a human being, as a level-headed, grounded human being, and not trying to sound cool or sound like what I think a content creator is. It's a cool thing to look back on in retrospect. And I just want to show you guys it so you can see. It's pretty hilarious. And then of course at the end I'll have a bit of a message that kind of ties into this whole ordeal. But yeah, thank you, and let's take a look at some of this stuff. All right, this is this was 6 years ago, guys. This is the first video I've ever uploaded to YouTube, and I'm pretty sure it'll say 7 eventually. But let's take a look at what I sound like.
Welcome to Smack Daddy King Entertainment, and today we're going to be coming at you with a step-by-step guide on how you can get through part 1 of the police station leading up to the underground passageway.
Good old Smack Daddy King, bro.
Without further ado, let's dive right in.
And of course, I start off with a Capcom game.
Alright guys, so first off we're going to approach the desk and grab some ammo. Behind the desk to the right will be a laptop that will trigger a cutscene once you click on it. So I recommend doing that. After the cutscene, go ahead and save if you must, and then we will proceed on.
Proceed on. It's like the idea I had in my head was to explain every little detail, because this is my first time I've ever made a video and I'm trying to help people like play through Resident Evil. I don't know what was going through my head at the time, but ultimately I was just trying to make content with the foundation of help people out. And so it's funny looking at this video.
We're going to take a quick examine of the first floor of the main entrance. To the left here you see an inaccessible area with
an inaccessible area
duct tape covered over a machine. Then if you walk up a little bit, you'll see a blue door right here that is also inaccessible. These will be 2 areas that we'll revisit once we have obtained the appropriate materials.
Okay, so the appropriate materials. So that was my first video. I'm 1,000,000,000% was scripting that. And then we went into Mortal Kombat combos, and then we landed on Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Boys, I want y'all to take a look at this intro. Man, it's insane what I sound like. You know, the room, the freaking scuffed mic. Oh, there's just so much. I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, cringe.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Thanks for stopping by and welcome to the channel. This is J2 Smooth here
First of all, brother needs a fade.
with Smack Daddy King Entertainment with my little man Astro. Say hi, buddy.
Astro is still alive and well. I hang out with my little mans every day.
Hi, buddy. Today we're going to be talking about Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I brought you an ultimate battle strategies guide that's going to help you smack daddy any foe out there on the battlefield. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future content.
Oh no, not my pet peeve in 2025. Not the like, comment, subscribe. Oh
And a
no.
like or comment is always appreciated. With that being said, let's go ahead and get this party jumping. I'll see you guys in a bit.
So I want you guys to look at that too, because I think this is fascinating. Because once again, my intro isn't even me. It's like I'm just trying to do what I thought a YouTuber was. I'm trying to sound the way I thought a YouTuber is supposed to sound based off what I saw on the internet, right? Me and my barbers talk about this because I talked to them about my journey, and I'm like, you know, you don't have to sound that way. Hey, what's up, guys? You know, you don't have to sound that way. But a lot of people in content creation, they do that and they try that because they think that is what you're supposed to do. You don't. You just be yourself, man. You know. Now, this guy was a banger.
Right, so
This guy was a banger. It got 47,000 views for our Fire Emblem 3 houses, teaching people how to play the game. And you'll notice throughout the entirety of all of this, that's all I ever try to do. I just try to help people out. And then every now and then, because I was trying to like figure out my identity as a creator, I do some off the wall shit like a demon slayer, Giyu Tomioka's past, the water pillar. What a fucking weed, bro. Check this out.
what's going on, guys? Thanks for
Bro was really trying to nail that energy, man.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Thanks for stopping by and welcome to the channel. This is J2 Smooth here with Smack Daddy King Entertainment, coming at you with some anime content on the show Demon Slayer.
Coming at you with some Demon Slayer content. Oh yeah, man. Like, it's like, bro, what are you trying to do, man? What are you trying to do?
In particular, we're going to be deep diving into the man named Giyu Tomioka's backstory, abilities, and how he came to be the current water pillar and or Hashira in Japanese terms for the Demon Hunter clan.
You want to know what's funny about this? This video got 36,000 views, 984 likes, and a lot of like positive reception in the comment section. It's just so crazy. People don't understand how much content in terms of the broad spectrum of just shit you can cover on YouTube and get views. It blows my mind when I look at this stuff. I'm like, wow, bro. There were so many flaws with my camera presence, what I was trying to convey and how I was trying to convey it, and yet still success occurred. It's crazy. But look at this one, Monster Hunter World. This is where we very first got into Monster Hunter, and this was the biggest like success I ever had on YouTube. I was getting multiple videos with 77,000, 80,000, 40,000, 20,000. Like, it was consistently occurring. And then this is when I learned like Monster Hunter is just a community full of fucking build whores. That's all they care about, bro. They don't care about anything except the build you're showing in that video.
Yo, what's going on, Monster Hunter family? Thanks for stopping by and welcome to the channel. This is J2 Smooth with Smack Daddy King Entertainment, bringing you anime and gaming content on a weekly basis. Today I've brought you guys a longsword guide that's going to teach you how to use the new lie stance more effectively. But before we get started,
Brother said lie stance, not EI, lie stance. Good old Smack, never changed. Smack, you still be saying shit wrong today. The bro said lie stance. That's insane. I will say my camera confidence improved right here. I noticed it subtly.
if you're new to the channel and would like to receive future content, don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. And of course, if you enjoy the video, a like or comment is always appreciated. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started.
You know what I remember about this? I remember having to do that take, and I'm not lying, y'all don't see it obviously, 20 times. I struggle so hard with intros because I'm always like, how do I like start this video off? What's the overview of the message I'm trying to convey to the audience? I despise intros so much, guys. Even to this day, I still fucking hate doing intros. And so it's funny because I know I'm looking at this and I'm like, bro, I probably did that like 37 times.
Starting off with the lie stance, which is the foundation of the new moves added to the longsword's arsenal. This stance is performed by holding R2 and pressing the X button. You must attack at least once in order to perform the stance.
I tell you what though, boys, my guides were banger. Like, look at that, 77,000 views, bro. I was helping motherfuckers learn how to play these classes, bro, for sure. I was rough on the edges, but I was helping people learn how to play these classes. All right, so then we had a card phase, guys. We had a TCG phase, Legends of Runeterra, bro.
Same here, man. We're gonna find out. Stay tuned for the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
You know what drove me insane about this, looking back on this? Why the fuck am I showing anime in the background on my face cam? It's like, bro, do you want them to watch the you or do you want them to watch what you're showing?
Come on, come on, come on. Oh, clutch. being.
Yeah. So this was Legends of Runeterra. Basically, it was really it was a huge hit to show off like the major plays in the beginning, and then people would go, how the hell do you do that? And then you would go into the progression of the match and getting to that OTK combo. We shifted around so much, boys, it was actually insane. This is TFT, man. Like, the fuck am I doing covering T? How did I go from Resident Evil, right, to Fire Emblem, to Demon Slayer anime content, to Monster Hunter, to a card game, to TFT? All right, and then back to Monster Hunter. I saw this video and I thought to myself, wow, I was actually impressed with my content at this point. 4 years, this is 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago. I was very impressed with my content. Let me show you why. So I had this cringe intro, first of all. But this is what I was impressed with.
Yo, what's going on, Monster Hunter family? Smack here, back at it again with the Monster Hunter madness. I know it's been a hot minute since I've been in the lab, but thankfully Alatreon has finally blessed us with its ferocious presence, and we're back in gear with the sauced up and dripped out builds. Today we're going to be covering my personal favorite weapon class in Monster Hunter, known as the Longsword. But to be more specific, we're going to
Brother man, give the cameraman a raise.
be showing you guys some new amazing builds for Alatreon's Longsword, the Dark Claw Demise. That's a pretty badass name, and it looks
This is literally how I would start off my content when I was about to showcase a build and a weapon, how it functions. And while I was doing it, I was panoramic showing off the visuals of the swagger I had on, the weapon and how it looks. How the fuck is Monster Hunter World's camera better than Monster Hunter Wild's camera? This is that shit I be telling y'all about, bro. These Japanese, I don't know what the fuck they be cooking with their games. They digress with newer titles. I'm like, how is this happening, bro? Your camera in World was better than your camera in Wild. It drives me insane. Anyways, if you're listening to me on in the back end, I'm scripting, and I sucked balls at scripting. It's like it's so obvious that I'm scripting.
looks just as it sounds, which is fucking awesome. I really wish I had the layered Valhazak armor so I can look like a Grim Reaper with this puppy, but unfortunately I'm too lazy to go into the guiding lands and farm up the pieces I need, evidently.
Dear God, Smack. Holy hell, brother. And you know what's funny? I couldn't stand doing this shit. I think I was even aware of it at that time. And I was like, the thing that kept holding me back is I was like, but I don't know what to say if I don't have a script. I just look at the camera and I just fold. Like, what the fuck do I say if I don't have the script? I don't know. And then I would try it and then I would just fail and I would freeze up and I would just be like, oh, I get tongue twisted. I would just literally thought would just leave my head multiple times. And so it made me go back to the script every time, back to the script and do this monotonous tone. Don't get me wrong. Now, if I look at a script, so much more enthusiasm, so much more personality, actually really hard for somebody to tell I'm scripting, but I never script these days, right? But I did it on an integrated video. Those are usually like 90 seconds long, thrown inside of a video to promote a different product. And I was looking at it and I was like, wow, damn, you've gotten a lot better at that. I hate it, but I can do it now if I really wanted to. But looking at this type of stuff and seeing it and then progressively going down this timeline, you'll see as I start to improve and find that camera confidence. So this is another one. This is Fatalities. This is towards the end of Monster Hunter World. And I want to be clear here, guys. This is Alatreon, right? Alatreon, or whatever you want to call it. But then this is Fatalities. This is a final monster of World, which means probably an entire year went by. And you can look at it right here. It still says 4 years ago, but it's probably almost 3 years ago. Check out how I sound here. But there's still like problems with what I'm doing.
Yo, what's the word, Monster Hunter family? It's the boy Smack here, checking in with y'all with the spiciest of builds for the amazing Fatalities Longsword with the weird ass name that I'm not gonna try too hard to pronounce, bro. We're just gonna call it Zaggy.
This was a huge moment for me because you could tell I relinquished the script and I said, fuck this. I'm just gonna put my head down and deal with scriptless content, find myself on this camera, and we're just gonna make it work. And it's so funny because you could tell as I'm doing this content, I'm trying to sound cool. versus just giving a message, right? Versus just being myself. I'm trying to sound more cool than I need to sound. And looking back at it, it's okay. Because at least I took a step forward and said, fuck those scripts, man. If I want to be a content creator worth watching, not to say that script content doesn't work. There's people out there, millionaires and successful people, millions of subs that do script content all the time. But me personally, I said, if you want to be somebody that people know, you gotta put that script down and find that camera confidence. And this is me doing that right here. It's like the first step of me stepping in to scriptless content. It's a huge moment, but I can see the flaws. First of all, why the fuck are you doing this to present a video on YouTube? What does Shikumaru do? What the fuck is Shikumaru doing on the screen, bro? Why is a subscriber goal and this whole like grandeur shit on the screen in a video? What are you doing, brother?
That's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it Zag. Zaggy is the most powerful
I was too concerned with presentation.
longsword in the game without question. This shit slaps so hard, my right cheek is burning.
Dad joke, bro. I like that type of shit. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
seriously though, man. I'll be showing.
I tell you what, that's a wicked beard. Even though it's a little old, that barber knew how to give a beard fade. Beard fades are so fire, but the problem is that barber was fucking lazy as shit and unprofessional. And so I opted for a barber that didn't give as good of a fade, but was way more professional. Tell you what, when you get older, boys, them fire ass fades are overrated. They really are, bro.
Showing you guys some actual stat comparisons to the previous meta busters.
Bro, look at the drip in Monster Hunter on a side
Which are the
tangent.
Light Break Edge and the Savage.
The drip is fucking insane. I was easily one of the best content creators in the entirety of the space when it came to presentation and drip marketing.
Shadow Blade as well, so strap in, baby. We're gonna get you the recipe to clap them cheeks.
It's just like, come on, man. Brother, why are you trying to sound so cool? Like, relax. Relax, bro. Oh, God, the cringe intro. Boys, I made all of that myself. I didn't hire anybody. That's why it looks so ass. Oh my God, dude.
Alrighty, so.
Yeah, all right. So that was almost 3 years ago. And then boom. Get this, boys. A whole year goes by. Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis comes out. And this is where I found it. This is where I saw it and I was like, oh, this is where I got it. This is where I unlocked my true potential, man. It was when I did a affix augmenting beginner's guide on Phantasy Star Online 2. And this shit popped off. Because if you think about it, I went into a new community where nobody knows me. It got 17,000 views on my very first video. It was awesome. Look at that. Look at that like to dislike ratio. Beautiful.
All right. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video by yours truly. Today, my goal is going to be to educate you guys on how to affix augment your weapons and armor. And I'm going to try to explain it in the most simplistic manner as I possibly can. This is not going to be scripted. It's coming straight from the dome. So do excuse me if I can't explain it as clear and concise as possible. But this is a very, I would say probably one of the most complex processes out of all the games I've played. And it got buffed drastically in New Genesis in comparison to the old PSO2. If you're a returning player, you're going to be happy as hell if you haven't already heard.
I know y'all see me smiling watching it. It's because of the growth, man. You know, it's just so much better right here. It doesn't sound like I'm trying to be cool. It's like I'm trying to really have a conversation with people and teach them how to play the game and give context and substance to what it is I'm saying. It's like this is the first evolve. So after PSO2, we come into, oh no, boys. Oh no. God.
All right, family.
Genshin Impact, the theory crafting guides, man. Holy. Guys, I did all this custom. I would custom make these in Photoshop. I would drag every single little clip over, set them up, put them down, put the weapon right there. I'm blown away by how much effort I put into this content. It actually blows my mind. Like, wow. Then I would show everybody every single stat. And then I would color code all of this shit. And then at the end, I would show people how I calculated it all. I taught so many goddamn people the formula of Hoyo games. I guarantee you there were content creators that stole, or not stole, I'm not gonna say stole, that's a strong word, but they learned how to theory craft because of me. And I was criminally fucking underrated. There's no doubt about it. Nobody knew my ass. 32,000 views in Genshin Impact, that ain't shit, brother. 400, 500, 600, 700,000 views would have been the norm. But, you know, unfortunately, I left the game in the beginning because I like immediately kind of recognized the gacha shit. And I was just like, all right, I'm out. And then I came back to it like randomly. I was like, you know what? Let me see what this game's talking about. And that's when I got in my theory crafting phase. Like literally when the game already fleshed out its content creators, so on and so forth.
And times the resistance of the monster. Now, we don't have anybody in the party giving us a Viridicent Veneer debuff or any debuffs in the party whatsoever. So we're actually going to lose out on 10% damage.
That shit is insane. But yep, that's when we got playing Jujutsu Kaisen in the background, dog. That's crazy. That's when we got to the Genshin Impact phase of our content creating career. That's when we stumbled into gacha territory. It was like, oh, all right, I guess we're covering gacha games now. And then guys, check this out, bro. Same time period, just a little bit further down. Good old Smack was already keeping it a buck. Good old Smack was already keeping it a buck. We're gonna watch all of this because this is not all of it, but like up to this point, just so y'all can see. Because, dude, the irony, right? This shit applies today. Oh, bro, Smack always kept it a buck, guys. If there's one thing you can tell, I always kept it a stack.
Right? I think we can agree on that. Let's go ahead and go over
this video is called "Why Are Wells Still Welling?"
Reasons to well. First of all, you got your content creators, right? Content creators well as a tax write-off, right? Like, and so not only is it a tax write-off, but they'll make the money back that they wailed for, you know. And then you have people who wail just to have big dick energy, just to go around saying, look at me in my C6. Probably how they sound. Which again, okay, I get that. But then you got people who want to unlock the innate ability of a character that they've grown fond of, and they get a substantial amount of ecstasy from unlocking those innate abilities of that character, right? Now, some of y'all just have a fucking problem, a gambling problem at that, and you need to be stopped. But for the people who wail to unlock the innate abilities of the character so that they can feel that new profound strength and just jizz all over the damn place, what are you doing it for right now? Like, dead ass.
This shit rings true today, dog, still.
Because the Abyss is the only thing that the game has to offer for you to enjoy your new toys, right? I think we can all agree on that. And
boys, this was 3 years ago. 7.2K views. Debatably the most underrated Genshin Impact video of all time.
It might be a good amount of ecstasy for like the next week or two after you get that character. But after that, what the fuck else you gonna do after that, bro, huh? You gonna go in the grass? In the grass, in the wildlands of Tavot to blow on a fucking hilly churl?
This was before the Mint Picker meme was revealed. I didn't discover it, right? It was tech that ended up discovering the word that needed to be utilized to describe doing absolutely fuck all with your characters.
Right? You're gonna try to do a combo on this man, and he's already left Tavot, bro. He's already left Tavot. As soon as you flinch at that, and he jumping back. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing for you to do with your toys. At this point, you're literally just donating to the company. Now, somebody can make the argument that people wail to support the game. Newsflash, buddy, the game doesn't need any more fucking support. Okay, they're a $1 billion company. What the hell? No. Do not convince yourself that you are supporting this company at this point. We know that shit ain't true.
Oh, man, I'm not gonna play the rest of it, bro. These videos are all like, is this one private? You know what? That one's still up, actually. Okay, it's got comments. If they got comments, that means it's still public. It's just crazy looking back on all this stuff, man. Because I'm like, man, you're seeing the growth here. You're seeing me start to reveal my actual personality. It's never that I was hiding it. I was just trying to learn what it even was being a content creator, what it even was conveying a message. and having a camera presence. It's so extraordinary watching this. And I kind of want to, I'm sharing this with you guys because I want other content creators that are probably in the middle of this phase somewhere. I don't know, maybe you're in the beginning, the middle, the end. I don't know. But if you're struggling mentally, and this can provide any amount of insight of the process to get to that side where you're finally flourishing, then that's the whole purpose of it. I want you guys to know, like, I didn't just wake up, snap my fucking fingers, and immediately find the guy y'all know and watch today. It took me much longer than it took other content creators. And what I learned is it was because I never like connected with other creators or watched other creators. I was so prideful that I didn't want to watch anyone. I just wanted to learn myself. And that's a stupid fucking mentality, because when you watch other people, right? If you watch an Asmongold, if you watch a Maximilian dude, if you watch, honestly, even Tectone with his abrasive stance, if you watch a lot of these people, you start to learn what they're doing right, or even what they're doing wrong, and how to apply it to your own game to up yourself as a content creator. And I didn't understand that until, honestly, probably right around this time, right when I got into the gacha space. The gacha space was low-key a blessing disguised as a curse, you know, because I got to finally get that exposure from so many other content creators and people that enabled me to elevate myself as a content creator. And so that was cool. But get this, guys. This is how I told y'all I never took my YouTube channel too seriously, because after I was done with something, I would quite literally just go do whatever the fuck I wanted to do. You know what I did after Genshin Impact? I did a Final Fantasy IX remastered Let's Play. Yep. Shit was great. I loved it. This is one of my favorite content creating moments, honestly, in the entirety of my tenure. It really was. I loved this shit so much, guys.
Guess nobody's here yet. Pop the lighter on them boys, you know what I mean? Can't see nothing up in here. Light the candle. Yeet yeet.
Look at the OGs up in here. My guy T5th. Bro has always supported me, man. Bright Knight always supported me. Death and Roses, I ain't seen you in a minute, but I know you pop up every now and then. Bright Knight and T5th, though, that's my boys, man.
Who's there? My boy Zidane. I'm not gonna. I never understood.
Jay Winterspring too.
The protagonist, like in Zidane.
Guys, this is when dialogue for turn-based games was fucking peak.
Oh my god, this is so nostalgic. Blank. Hey Zidane, you sure are late. Sorry. So where's the boss?
See, boys, you see how fast that conversation happened? Zidane, you're late. Sorry, man. Where's the boss? Gacha games? Zidane, you're late. Well, you see, I was in the corner reminiscing on what it was like to be a thief and how I became a thief. And in that moment, it ended up drifting off into why I'm even here in the first place. And once I realized this thought process, I then came to the realization that I am late.
He sure is dressed funny. Would you please let me pass? Let's see. Is there something on my face? Oh no, you see, I just thought maybe you were the one I'd been waiting for all this time.
Bro, it's funny, man. Like, I can listen to this shit all day, bro. It might be a bit of a nostalgia piece, you know. Maybe I'm biased strongly, you know. Sentiments is strong in this one. But, like, I don't know, man. It was just something about the dialogue back then that just was so straightforward. And the conversations were relatable to real life, or they gave you that sense of magical feel that drew you in, right? It was enjoyable to listen to. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. If as you're watching this, you might be getting put to sleep, but I also would argue that it's also because you don't understand the context of what's actually happening. We'll watch a little bit more, and then we got 2 more videos.
That boy Zidane is the Mac Daddy, bro. Then I shall take my leave of you. Just a sec. Haven't we met before? No, I do not know you. Man, I gotta check it out, bro. You already know, dog. First thing you gotta do is check out the back. What's she packing back there, bro? Maybe you're right. I'd never let someone as pretty as you get away.
Bro, be smacking, bro.
Say, you wouldn't. Hey, what's going on, Zidane? I must go. Who the heck was that? Get up, Blank. That was Princess Garnet. Are you serious?
I love Final Fantasy 9. All right, boys. All right. Let me go ahead. I'm ruining the video, bro. Okay. So after Final Fantasy 9 Let's Play, we then ended up landing on. Rest in peace, Wild Hearts. Rest in peace. Now, I was actually one of the biggest creators in this community. Unfortunately, this game had the worst luck of all time. It had a launch as bad as Wuthering Waves, but people were much more unforgiving. It was the original devs listen. The devs listened to a detriment, I would say. They listened too fucking much. And you know, anybody that played this game will tell you, I mean, unless their opinion ain't worth a fucking pot to piss in, it was a phenomenal game. Unfortunately, it just didn't get the spotlight it deserved. And then the company behind them, the publisher behind them, you know what? Give me 1 second. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't gonna spread misinformation. And I know for a fact now, it was fucking EA. EA completely abandoned Wild Hearts, bro. Which is such a travesty. It's so unfortunate because this game actually had so much unique elements to it, and it actually did bring a different approach to the hunting genre. And I dare say that if it had the love and attention it deserved, I think it would have blossomed into an even more incredible one-hit wonder piece. I do truly believe that. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. You know, it is what it is. And I hope that they make another game and they don't give up, because they had something special on their hands. And I think they were the only competition that could have given Monster Hunter, a run for its money. The light cancel, allowing you to effectively parry in quick succession. So you can parry, right? Now, if you just keep spamming the parry button, that's how slow it is to parry successively. It's very slow and unreliable. And generally, if you fail a parry, you're kind of just screwed. But if you parry, press the light attack, and then parry again, you can parry much quicker, which it looks like this. So generally, as you can see, that eats up a shit ton of stamina too, by the way. Once again, boys, my recipe has always been the same. It's always been about teaching people how to play games and, share a creative passion with many other people that we all can come together and, build off of, or just appreciate, inform each other. That's what it comes down to. It's never changed. I'm still the same today. When I make content, I try to inform people. I try to, have my integrity as high as possible. And that's pretty much about it. Every now and then I get roped into some crazy stuff, which, by the way, it's usually not because I'm starting anything, but because people didn't like what I said about a video game. It's honestly ridiculous. But this is me in a nutshell, And then after Wild Hearts, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. We are going to be covering Honkai Star Rail combat and build system, explaining in good detail. Bro, forgot to turn the audio off. Detail exactly how the build system is designed, how the combat system is designed, and how they operate. Often at times when you get into new turn-based games and new gacha games, they can be very unforgiving and even a little bit confusing, and probably who the fuck doing 3-piece combos in the background? To a degree complex. And hopefully after watching the Unk Smack doing Unk Smack things still, boys, right? Never change. This video, you'll have a little bit more clarity as to how things work in Honkai Star Rail. So let's go ahead and get into it. And so, at this point, we came into HSR with a much more refined camera presence. which went a long way. Yeah, here we go. So this was the Honkai Star Rail guide video that we're watching right now. 1,000 views or 1,900 views. The next video was a Arlon simulated universe video. 18,000 views, right? And then Clear All Simulated Universe, 4,000, 7,800. And then we come back over here. This one, don't buy the wrong light cones in the Herta store. 28,000. All free-to-play players should be using these light cones. 4,000. Jingyuan light cone tier list, 33,000. How I'm building Jingyuan in Honkai Star Rail, 23. This is where I started once again finding another community, and I started growing at it. Which free 5-star is worth getting? 20,000, right? Rate the battle pass, 14,000. Speed and action value are so important, 12,000. Dude, this video is insane. Build Ting Yun the right way. Oh, I remember this. Everybody thought that you had to like stuff attack on every single part of her because they didn't understand there was a maximum threshold. 114,000 views. And then as you saw, I started getting much more consistent viewership, and it got to the point where, yeah, we just took off. And then it's still classic Smack covering fucking Diablo in the middle of a algorithm boost. What are you doing? 500 IQ Yangxing build, 31,000. And you fucking go into Diablo. Like, bro, what? This is insane to me, man. Oh my god, dude. But yeah, man, it's cool. Look at this. Look at this. A Silver Wolf. Remember, I was the original guy putting people on break effect Silver Wolf when it was broken. 80,000 views. Sampo, 52,000 views, bro. I was popping off, bro, with HSR. We start taking off. And then my final thing, my final journey that I want to talk to you about is when Wuthering Waves came out. It was such a risk that was important to take. It was a risk to make a statement that I won't be confined to one video game. I won't be that creator that is a one-trick pony, that is a one-dimensional Andy that only knows how to cover content for one game. And so this was such an important, risk for me to take. And you know what's funny? This is the only sponsorship I've ever gotten from Kudo Games. They sponsored me for this Jian Shin video before the game came out. It's my highest viewed video on the channel. And then they sponsored me to live stream their game for 7 days straight. Was actually really good money too. And the only reason they sponsored me was not to look out for a content creator. It was literally a business move to try and take a star creator away from their competition. And then obviously give as much publicity and exposure to their game as possible. And once they did that, obviously, I never heard from them motherfuckers again. Now I did. Actually, I've been offered by them like 1 or 2 times throughout the year, but they offered cheap ass rates and I turned them down. That's pretty much it. Or I would like give them a rate higher than what they offered, and they would be like, nah, I'm good. And it was like, all right, well, fuck you, nigga. I'm not. See, the thing about me is I stand on business all the time, boys. I don't mess around. But you know what's funny? They eventually have to come back. Everybody always has to come back to good old Gacha Smack, because you know why? I'm one of the star players, boys. Yep, you're gonna need me eventually, and when you do, I'm raising the price. Anyways, man, not to just like get away from it, guys. I just wanted to show y'all the journey, because now when I became established as a Wuthering Waves content creator, what ended up happening is I now diversified my gacha audience. And I also gave my audience the impression that I don't have to cover one game and one game only. Then Zenless Zone Zero came out and I did the same thing there. And so my channel got to this point where I'm now able to cover a multitude of gacha games and get solid viewership, and my audience sticks around. It's wonderful. But all of that attributes to the journey that I just walked you guys through. And I'm so incredibly thankful for everyone that's always stuck around, even when I had the rough edges, man. I'm incredibly grateful for the people that hate watch me and contribute to my success as well. Seriously though, guys, it's been a hell of a journey. And I plan to do this for the rest of my life. I think I've gotten to this point now where I've understood that to grow in any community is to start off with merely helping people out and doing the right thing as often as possible. Staying true to yourself, having morals and principles that you actually stand on. All of these things go a long way with your audience. And, you know, they can also hinder you, because I'll be honest, fellas, I'd be at 200, 300, or 400,000 subs if I didn't be myself, if all I did was put on this PR act and pretend like I don't have an opinion, I'm truly objective, right? If I just shut the fuck up in HSR and Wuthering Waves, and I always just put my head down, went to work, I'd have a lot more sponsorships. I'd have a lot more views. I'd have a lot more subscribers. But I wouldn't be having a fun time in content creating. I wouldn't. Nowhere near as much fun as I have today. I'm pretty sure I would be much more depressed, actually. I probably, and you know what? This is not me speaking for everyone else. I'm only speaking for me because I know who I am. I don't like biting my fucking tongue. I don't like being fake. I don't like this PR bullshit. That affects me as a human being because I'm not saying what I really want to say. I'm an abrasive guy. I'm a bold guy. And I wear my heart on my sleeve. That's just who I am. And to not do these things on camera is to go against who I am. And so in doing that, the problem is you're going to push away all the people who don't agree with your perspective, who literally live their life based off of who agrees with them and who doesn't agree with them. You're going to push away a lot of people that can get you to where you're trying to go much quicker. However, you can never actually take your mask off because the minute you do, those are the first people that are going to fold. Those are the first people that are going to treat you like the biggest piece of shit. After bringing you to the top, they will then snatch your ass off that mountain and humble you very quickly. Or you'll feel like you're a slave to their wants and demands. That's not me. Never will be me. And I think I've built up the most solid 100,000 subs that I possibly could build up. At least a bunch of them, right? You guys, y'all know who I am. Y'all seen my good side. Y'all seen my bad side. And, y'all seen my funny side. I'm a goofy fucking guy. But you can't say you don't know who Smack is because I've shown it to you in every way possible on camera. And so for that, I say thank you, boys. I look forward to the journey of constantly evolving into an even better character. I think I can refine my camera presence even better. I think I can deliver messages even better. I think there's much more room for growth. And I look forward to the journey, boys. I'm going to be covering multiple games. That's not just pertaining to the gacha genre, but I'm already building up a Monster Hunter channel on the side to tap into that hardcore Souls-like audience. I'm then even planning to eventually go into like turn-based games and play some Xenoblade Chronicles, some old school games like Final Fantasy IX and Legends of Dragoon. I have so many plans, but I'm only one man. There's only so much I can do. I got a second kid coming on the way. I've got a job that I do. I got so much shit going on in my life. It's insane, boys. But you know what? No excuses, man. As long as you give it your best every day and you try to water those flowers as much as they can be watered, I think you'll be satisfied with the outcome and with the results in the end. That's going to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it, I yapped. It's almost like an hour from what I'm looking at. Peace, love, and happiness. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.